Subscribe to Get Curried and click on the bell icon for more updates.
Chicken triple Szechuan fried rice is one of the most loved Indo-Chinese dishes that you can find either on the streets or in restaurants, and that's exactly what I'm going to show you today. I'm Tarika, welcoming you to Get Curried, and we better get started. For fried rice, what I really like to do is use leftover rice from the night before. So what I'm using in this recipe is half a cup of basmati rice, which I had soaked and cooked yesterday. So my wok has heated up and I'm just gonna add a tablespoon of oil here. Almost immediately, I'm adding a teaspoon each of ginger and garlic. I'm just waiting for the raw smell of the ginger and garlic to go away. Now to this, while I'm stirring it, I'm going to add some finely sliced spring onion, the white part of it. We'll use the green later. And now to this, I'm going to add some finely chopped carrots and a little bit of French beans. Give that a good mix. Now to this, I'm going to add the rice. This is nice and cold. Hear that sizzle. Now it's not very traditional, but I really like to add some boiled noodles to my triple fried rice as well. I'm just going to go in with a handful, okay, maybe two, of some boiled noodles. Now this is not a Szechuan fried rice unless we've added the Szechuan sauce. So add a good 2 tablespoons. And we need some amount of salt in it, but for Chinese food, I just prefer adding soy sauce. Very quickly, just mix it through. That's it. This is absolutely done as soon as the Szechuan sauce is mixed through. And we're ready to serve this. Moving on to our gravy for the chicken Szechuan, a tablespoon of oil. And to this, almost immediately, I'm going to add 200 grams of chicken that I've sliced up finely and just marinated with salt and pepper, nothing more. I'm not looking to cook the chicken through here. I just want it to turn golden. I'm pulling the chicken out of the pan now. We let it cool and add it back into the pan later. Just about half a tablespoon of oil back in the pan. Teaspoon each of ginger and garlic. The ginger and garlic are nice and fragrant, lost that raw smell. So now's the time to add 1 large chunky capsicum, and then we're going to add the chicken back into the pan. Get all the juices in there too. Turn the heat up. Okay, now time to add the Szechuan sauce. A good 3 tablespoons of this. And again, just mix it through. Now it's time to add the chicken stock. You can use a vegetable stock as well. So this is 1 cup. I'm going to add almost all of it. Now to this, I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a good tablespoon of ketchup, and this is a fairly spicy recipe, so we need to add some sugar, not too much, just about a teaspoon of sugar, a tiny pinch of pepper. I'm going to add to about 2 tablespoons of corn flour. Now, corn flour doesn't dissolve in any kind of hot liquid. You definitely need to put it into a room temperature liquid. So I'm just going to mix it with that. Make sure that you mix it thoroughly with the stock, or even if you're using just water. And just add that to the gravy. Take the heat up, turn the flame on to high, because that will help the gravy thicken. Also stir it in. This is done when the chicken is cooked through, which will be very soon. Now, the Szechuan sauce that I've made is of course a homemade one. If you want this recipe, you'll find a link to it in the description box below. This is nearly done. One final touch is to add a little bit of salt to taste. Recipe really doesn't need much salt. There's salt in every ingredient that we've added already. Take it off the flame, switch off the flame, and then add just a tiny amount, about half a teaspoon of vinegar and some spring onions. That's it. This is done. The final touch for any triple fried rice is the fried omelette. Oil to my frying pan here, and while that oil heats up, crack open an egg. Just give it a gentle whisk. All this needs is a tiny amount of salt. That's it. Whisk it again and just add it to this hot pan. I'm just going to add it on top of this rice, and we're ready to plate this up. My personal favorite is to add some fried noodles on top of this just before I eat this. I'm not going to keep you for too long. I know you'd want to try this recipe really soon. And when you do try this recipe, leave a comment below, because I read everything. And of course, like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Get Curried for loads more such recipes.